What's up, YouTube? It is your boy JB, and I'm here tonight with the review for Love and Hip Hop New York. This is season 10. This is episode number 3. It is titled Keeping Up with the Joneses. So, you guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right into tonight's episode review. All right, you guys. So this episode, it opens up. Can we talk about Chrissy and her green screen with these butterfly tattoos on her titties? One wing is back here, the other wing is kind of moving forward. I'm like, your butterfly wings are not even. And I love Chrissy, but your wings are just not even. You could have did like what Eve did and did the paw prints on your titties, but you know, whatever. But we see Chrissy. So Chrissy is heading out to Philly. She got Kimbella with her, and she got Juju with him. You know, she's known Juju for years just because, you know, Cam, Jewels, and Jimmy were all a part of Dipset. So they brothers, they all cool. Despite the fact that, you know, Jewels and not Jewels, but Cam and old girl are not together. Speaking of which, Cameron's girlfriend just died a few weeks ago, maybe even a month ago. Rest in peace to her. So you know, she's going out to Philly to meet up with the investors because that's what the big boss wants her to do. And you know, then Kimbella tells her about the conversation that happened, you know, in last week's episode when she met up with Yandy, Jonathan, and Sin. Now my thing last week, I didn't even bring it up, but I didn't understand why Sin felt the need to talk about Chrissy's issues. Like, do you even know Chrissy in that way? But you know, to get the mess started, I guess she had to do it. But you know, I think for Kimbella, I think Kimbella's putting a little bit on. I mean, Yandy was just reading the article, but Yandy didn't have to go as deep as she did when, you know, she read it, that it was in 2010 when this happened. And oh, coincidentally, that's when I stopped managing him. Because what you're doing is you're trying to imply that, oh, I stopped working for Jim, and oh, Jim starts to have issues with his taxes and whatnot. So I get where Kimbella's coming from, but I think Kimbella's just, you know, put on just a little bit. Although with Yandy, I don't really give a fuck, but, you know, I understand it. So now this is not to be shady in any type of way, but when Chrissy, you know, went to meet up with those women, I was looking at those women. I'm like, what kind of? I mean, I know she said that this is a, you know, they, you know, pull their money together to flip houses, but I'm like, what kind of houses are you guys buying? And that is no shade to them. What kind of houses are you guys buying? What areas are you buying these houses in? Because some of those women, I'm not judging anybody, but it just didn't look like they. It just made me question, like, well, what kind of houses are you guys buying? Like, how much? No, let's put it this way: how much money are you guys actually investing? That's a good question. Like, how much money do they have to put in? Do they have to put in $100, 1,000, 500? How much money are they actually investing into this? So that's a real logical question. I cleaned it up and it wasn't so shady as it was when I was thinking it in my head and typing it in my notes. But you know, she tells the women the issues with Jimmy, that, you know, she didn't know anything about it for the last few years. She's been living out there in Miami, and one of the girls even asked a question. So because you were living in Miami, you didn't think they'd check on anything up here, make sure everything was good on the home front? And she also lets them know that, you know, when it comes down to it, her name is not on the lease. It's on the deed, but it's not on the lease. So all the issues with the, you know, the repossession and everything, that is all up to Jimmy, not her. So, you know, the women at first, actually, I can't even really say that those women look like they will understand it, because they were just in there looking at her like, girl, you sit on us a crock of bullshit. Basically, that's how they were looking at her. But, you know, it is what it is. And so then we do see Chrissy, you know, she's talking to Jim, and she's telling Jim how awkward it was for her to get up in front of those women and talk about it. And Jim does apologize to her, but Jim, he still came off kind of like an asshole, like he really didn't give a fuck, which he probably don't give a fuck because he don't feel like he owe anybody any explanation, which he does not. But the fact that your woman is in an industry where she's flipping houses and you guys lost your home, it kind of raises an eyebrow. And it will make me be like, why would I want to do business with her if she can't even control her own finances at home? how can I expect her to control my finances when I give her money to invest in something? So I definitely get the, the whole, I get it on both ends. But let us move on. All right, so next we see Pap. He's out with the baby, and Safari joins him. So Safari and him sit down and catch up with each other. Safari tells him about this whole situation when him and Erica went to the lawyer's office, and Erica mentioned the prenup. Now Erica's whole thing is Erica's afraid, she wants to protect herself and the baby in case Safari does cheat on her. And Productions Messy as they show us the whole, the blog post about him and Gabby from Love and Hip Hop Miami. And I guess I get it. I guess I kind of understand it a little bit. Erica Mena has been through a lot in her life with, with guys, and we saw it all play out in, on this show and social media. So we saw it with Bow Wow, we saw it with Rich rubbing pennies, we saw it with who else? I mean, most notably rubbing pennies and Bow Wow. We even saw it with her ex-boyfriend Cliff, although they were not on Love and Hip Hop. Actually, they were together when she was on Love and Hip Hop, but he wasn't on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. He wasn't on there with her, and we saw the whole thing that happened with their relationship, and rest in peace to that man. But we saw the whole thing that happened with her. So Pap is just letting Safari know, like, hey, even when I got with my wife, and although we've been together for almost over 10 years, I had to prove to her that I was this upstanding good guy because of all the guys in her past. But I had to prove to her who I was, that I was all for her and I was for our family, and that's exactly what you got to do with when it comes to you and Mena. Now, when it comes down to Safari and Mena, I just don't know what to believe with those two. I mean, we know that they're currently married, but it's just like Erica's a whole bit of crazy. I mean, I can handle a whole bit of crazy that is Erica. I mean, now let me talk about Erica. Erica looks so different this season. She looks different than when she looks a lot different than the last time we saw her when she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Like her face, it just looks different. I know she got new teeth, but it's just something else about her face. It looks different. I can't put my finger on what it is about her face. I'm gonna figure it out. But it's something off about Erica Mena's face. I just cannot put my finger on it. Cannot put my finger on it just yet. And it's not pregnancy either. It ain't pregnancy. All right, so we also saw Papoose. He was at the radio station with that white boy Drewski, which I kind of went out of order. I just realized it. Um, yeah, so he's there with a new cast member, Fresher. He's promoting his music. Pressure lets us know that he's worked with Cardi B. 50 Cent saw it. He got him on the track with Remy Ma. Blase, 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 blase. Moving on. Now, like I said, I did get ahead of myself talking about Papoose meeting up with Safari. So I'm not gonna talk about that again. But we will talk about the fact that Safari and Erica Mena, I'm like, when they showed that scene, the opening scene for them, I'm like, why is Mona doing this slow motion 2000, 2001, early 2000s music video shoot? But Erica and Safari are shooting a wedding video invitation, and I'm like, interesting, cool. None. I mean, I ain't got nothing to say about that. So then Tahiri shows up. So Erica asked Safari to go get her something to eat, leaving her and Tahiri to talk. So Tahiri asked her about the prenup. So Erica tells her, like, me and Safari, we went to the lawyer's office, and I did mention a prenup, but I didn't talk to him about it before. And Tahiri's like, why would you do that? Like, you should have had a conversation with him prior to even springing that up on him, which I agree with Tahiri. And she's basically just telling Erica she's wrong, which I'm like, exactly. Now, I know a lot of people, we've all said it on Twitter, what does Erica have? I mean, I ain't gonna say Erica's broke as fuck, but Erica, I mean, she got some stuff that she could. I mean, I guess they got something that they can end up, they could protect their assets in their relationship. I believe Safari is worth more. I know Safari is worth more than Erica, but they still both probably have some assets that they could, they could hold, they could protect from each other. But it is what it is. It is what the fuck it is. So then we lastly see Safari and Erica. So they go to dinner, and So he says that him doing what he did, I'm assuming he's talking about this whole situation with Gabby, or just maybe, cheating on her, period. It made him get in a different headspace and made him realize that, she is what he wants. His family is what he wants, so he's good with her. And whatever Erica wants, he wants that for her. And Erica says, you know what? No prenup. I'm like, okay, no prenup. Cool. Cool. I'm joking, y'all. Let's move on. All right, so we're going to close out this episode with the Messy Crew. So we first see Messy Crew member number one, Jonathan. So Jonathan is out in the streets of New York, and there's this girl doing a photo shoot. Her name is Janoski. I can't pronounce her name. I couldn't. I got it when the show was on, but after the show was off, I don't know what her name is. Janoski, Janos something. Janoski, 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 Janoski. Is that how you pronounce? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Janoski. Yeah, I think that's it. Janoski. Key. Because it was like, yep. Janoski. I think that's her name. Don't quote me on that. But, he's meeting up with her. She's doing a photo shoot. And, she's talking about how she's been rapping. She's been writing raps since she was 16. She was a backup dancer for a lot of people. I think she's named Remy Ma. She named... I don't forget who else she named. But she's named some other artists that she's back around dancing for. And then she was like, you know what? She's better than some of these rappers that are out. I'm like, okay. It depends on which rappers you're talking about. Like if you're talking about, Trash Doll, I'm not talking about Cash Doll. I'm not talking about Asian Doll. I'm talking about Dream Doll. That is Trash Doll. So I don't think I'm talking about any, because I think Cash Doll is actually pretty cool. I actually like Cash Doll. When I say Trash Doll, I'm talking about Trash Doll that was on Love and Hip Hop New York a few seasons ago. Dream Doll from Bad Girls Club, which I never even watched that season of Bad Girls Club. I actually used to watch Bad Girls Club back in the day. So I watched Bad Girls Club, and I'm going off on a tangent. I realize it. So I watched Bad Girls Club from... I did not watch Tanisha's season. I didn't watch season 3. I started with season 4 with Natalie Nunn when Portia beat the shit out of her. Man, that was a fight right there. If you ain't never saw a fight, and speaking of a fight, why do Love and Hip Hop keep showing us this fight between Chrissy and Kimbella? But yeah, Natalie Nunn, when Portia, send me the fuck home. Send me the fuck home. You gonna bring my child up in this shit, you fucking stupid bitch? And boom, boom, boom. I mean, beating the shit out of her. Bam, bam. That was some shit. Back to this show. But yeah, she's talking about the people that she's worked with. So then we see rubbing pennies. He pulls up, and I want this nigga to stop name dropping. He name dropped Olivia. He name dropped Sherry Dennis. He name dropped, who else was it? Ryan Leslie. Who else did he name dropped somebody else. And I'm like, God damn. These names that you dropping, my nigga, ain't none of them had a hit in God knows how long. And if you're definitely talking about Olivia, whoa, when is the last time Olivia's had a hit? I ain't heard a song from Olivia since, she did that song that he took from Erica Mena and gave to her. But the most notable song that I remember from Olivia is Biz Ounce. That song was actually good back in the day. She did Biz Ounce. And was that before she got signed to G Unit and she never put out any music with G? Did she ever put out any music with G Unit? I just cannot remember. I'm gonna have to go back and look and see. Did she ever put out any music with G Unit? Yeah. But yeah, so, so then Janoski, whatever the fuck her name is, she does a freestyle. Freestyle wasn't all that so good, but I guess Rich likes it. And let's talk about Rich rubbing pennies. Bruh, who have you gave a hit to? Name one artist in the last decade that you've given a hit to. I'll wait for it. Anybody. I didn't think so. So, she's talking about pressure and how, he wants to work with her. And, the main thing that he's talking about is, getting her an apartment and getting her body done, getting her some new titties and getting her a new ass. Now, am I the only person that got like a knockoff Cardi B vibe from her? I mean, she seems like a cool enough girl, but she just gave a Cardi B vibe, and it didn't seem authentic to me. But maybe it was just me. So then we see Messy Boots number 1 and 2, Yandy and Jonathan. They meet up. So Jonathan, of course, is gonna have Yandy sign this whole situation. So I'm gonna agree with him on one thing. Yes, Yandy did read that, and I said it earlier in this video. Yandy read the article. Ain't nothing wrong with her reading the fucking article, but it was a comment after we're talking about, oh, 2010. Ain't that funny? This is around the time that I started managing him, making it seem as if you stopped managing him. Oh, he ain't got no good grip on his finances. Like, why are you taking so much credit for it? But, Jonathan gonna have his girl back, messy as fuck. Now, Jonathan, on the other hand, doesn't believe that he's been messy. I'm like, bruh, you was clearly being messy. I get it that you friends with Yandy, and I get it that you friends with, Chrissy. But my whole thing is, if I'm friends with somebody, like my best friend, if I'm friends with, and which I am, I'm friends with some people that she's not, cool with. We have a lot of friends like that. Well, she don't have any friends that I'm not cool with anymore. Because me and most of the friends that we have together that I didn't like at one point, we've made amends with each other. But she does have some friends. I have some friends that she doesn't care for. And when I'm around those friends, I'm not gonna ever sit there and let them, talk shit about my best friend, because that's not who I am. And vice versa. I'm not gonna be around her, and we're not gonna talk about somebody that I'm cool with. I don't do that. That's just not my personality. Cannot do it. It's fake as fuck. I don't think that's been a good friend, because the thing is, I feel like with friends, if you friends with somebody and if you friends with two people that don't necessarily click with each other or like each other, if you're in the presence of one of them and you let them talk shit about it, the other one, like, that's not a true friendship. You shouldn't do that. I just couldn't do that. It's not a genuine friendship. I feel like a genuine friendship is to be like, I'm cool with this person. You don't mention them when I'm around. You don't mention her when I'm around. Keep it cool, copacetic. So that way no drama can come from it. But, whatever. Who cares about those two? So, and I'm definitely not gonna let somebody discuss my friend's downfall. Like that I'm not gonna do. Like when Sam had brought up her the repossession of the house, I would be like, yo, we not gonna do that. Like, I know you're not cool with her. I know you don't know her, but right now what we not gonna do is we not gonna talk about that. Like, that's fucked up. Like, if y'all want to talk about it, make sure that I'm not around to hear this shit, because I don't want to hear it. Like, I don't want it to be like, oh, he was listening in on that conversation. He might not have said anything but he was right there ear hustling with us. So I wouldn't want that. So he also tells her about this fragrance line he has and how he's inviting everybody to the party. Fast forwarding. So Janoski is meeting with pressure, and he tells her what he wants to do for her. Once again, he wants to get her titties done. He wants to get her ass done, and I'm just like, why? He's talking about that's the look. That's the look. You gotta have the nice cars. You gotta have the nice this. You gotta have the nice that. A lot of people in the industry who have the nice cars, the nice houses, are gonna be broke in a few years. Like, I think it is so fucking stupid for our people, when we make it big, the first thing we want to do is buy an expensive ass car, and I get it. If you never had it, I definitely get it. Buying a nice car, buying a nice house, I definitely get that shit. But invest your money wisely. Invest your money in something that's going to give you a return profit. Once you drive off a lot with a fucking car, that car loses its value. So when you take it in and trade it back in, you're not even going to get half of what it's worth. You're going to get a small percentage of what that car is worth. So, I just don't understand why we as black people in the industry, in any aspect, when we get money, the first thing we do is go buy a BMW, a Lexus, a Mercedes Benz. Why we got to buy that shit? Have you never heard? I mean, and the smart thing that most white people do, they lease their vehicles. So once they're through with that vehicle, they give it right back to the dealership and get another one. I have my cousin actually does it with her BMW. She leases it. She doesn't buy it. She leases it. Like, that's the smart thing to do. Just lease your shit. But I'm preaching, and I didn't want to preach. But let's move on. But she also invited him to her showcase, and that's the end of them. Love and Hip Hop Miami will be on in a few weeks. You guys excited about Love and Hip Hop Miami with the return of Jocelyn Hernandez, the Puerto Rican princess? I'm gonna have to work on my accent for the Puerto Rican princess. I am excited for the Puerto Rican princess. And then her cabaret show on Zeus, I'm not gonna watch that. But, if they put some snippets on YouTube, I might watch it. But, because I tried to watch that Tokyo Tony shit and I just, couldn't get into it. So, we see the girls. They are all out to support Jonathan. When it comes down to these girls, can we pick some clues that fit they fucking body? Kimbella like she was stuffed and all that tight ass whatever the fuck that was. Even Chrissy looked stuffed in that shit. I'm like, God damn, can y'all just go up one size? So if you're wearing a small, go up to a medium. If you're wearing a medium, large. If you're wearing a large, there's nothing wrong with going up one size. Just go up one size, please. So, then they start talking about the whole situation that happened, previously. Nobody can get anywhere because they started yelling and going off on each other. And it was just a whole fucking mess. And you guys, that was the episode. So be sure to like this video. Leave your comments. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification button so you guys know when I drop anything. Share this video. And I will catch you guys later for the Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Reunion Part 3. Thank fucking God it's over. See you later.